Good morning. Sorry for the background noise if you can hear it. I'm hoping my really cool new mic will make it so that you can hear me okay. But um, I want to talk this morning about peppers. I have had the best pepper year so far that I've ever had, and I kind of want to show some tips and tricks on how and why I think it was so successful to kind of pass that knowledge on, specifically in Texas. I think often we think we can do things a little more easily in Texas because we don't have the freeze. But my reality is I have not done very well with peppers in the past, except for a few rare exceptions, and usually I didn't get peppers until the fall. So this is my guide on how to get them now in the spring when Texas is really a great spot for it. I just didn't know a few things that I think will really help. The first major thing is when to plant them. So I'll show you what a new pepper plant looks like from the store if you buy starts. I tried to grow from seedlings or from seeds this year. Didn't work out because I actually did not follow this guideline, which is my new big thing I'm telling everyone because it makes the biggest difference in the world. So I will show you first what a pepper plant looks like now, and then we'll go up through ones that were planted a couple of weeks ago, and we can kind of compare and see what the success has been. The number one first guide is do not plant pepper plants before it is at least 50 degrees every night. That's what I did this year. I waited an extra 2 weeks before I put my pepper plants out. Even when it got below 50, I took them out of my greenhouse and brought them inside. Below 50 degrees is stunting to pepper plants because they are a tropical plant. This is my new belief. I first heard it from Jess at Roots and Refuse Farm, and I think she's absolutely right. I think sometimes, especially in Texas, we think, oh, our frost date is gone. We can plant everything in the ground. I would say that is the case for like tomatoes and things like that. But eggplants and peppers, they're tropical plants. Just wait. Just wait another week or two. Look at your average, your forecast for nighttime temperatures, your lows, and make sure it's above 50 degrees before you plant your pepper plants in the ground. All right, I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to show you a pepper plant that's been in the ground for about 2 weeks, and then some that have been in the ground for about, I want to say it's 6, something like that, at least a few more weeks. So there's a huge difference. It's really cool. All right, so why, you may ask, do I have pepper plants that are 2 weeks old versus 4 or 5 weeks old? I had some lettuce here. I wasn't sure exactly how many peppers I was going to plant this year. Ended up deciding to plant more, and these are the ones that I planted just a week or two ago. This damage right here is actually from it's recovering damage, but this is from, I think, pill bugs, which I just have a major problem with in my garden. This plant has actually stopped bugging them now, which is great. And I'm just keeping an eye out for things like aphids. I've had some issues with aphids this year, but I think we're doing better. Okay, so these were planted a week or two ago. This is about the size you want, obviously without all the bite marks on it, but this is about the size you want from the store. This guy was also planted about 2 weeks ago. That's a red sweet. The first one was a red sweet pepper, and this is also a red sweet majestic pepper. So these are just two of the same kind. They're what my store had, and I love a good bell pepper. It has thick walls, and it's really good eating. This one was also purchased at the same time. This is a Hungarian sweet banana pepper, and it is a really good grower here in Texas. At least it was a few years ago for me. The last time I actually had success with peppers, probably because I accidentally planted them late. Another thing with peppers, you just want to make sure you get every pepper. You can kind of tap the flower, or just tap the whole plant. And the goal here is to knock the pollen from the male part to the female part. This guy I planted from, I waited until it was over 40 degrees. I got it at there's like a gardening event here in Austin where you can go and buy seedlings. That's usually about early March. But I did not plant them immediately. I waited until it got over 50 degrees at night, and these guys are doing great. This is a purple beauty pepper. It's just a bell pepper. This is an ancho poblano. These are 3 shishitos. Shishitos are kind of fun to fry up a bunch at once, so I decided to do 3 plants in a row. 1, 2, 3. This one's interesting. The middle one is a lot bigger than the other two. They were planted at the same time. They were planted in the same location, in the same garden bed, but two of them are shorter and one of them is taller. This is interesting. There's a bug on there. Hi, bug. I don't know what kind of bug that is. He isn't a problematic bug. I saw a stink bug on here the other day, though. But check out this. I mean, I planted these five or 6 weeks ago, I want to say, and it's already got a full-size shishito on there. I've already picked 3, actually, so they're doing really well. This is a Hungarian sweet banana pepper. I have it in a taller trellis or taller support because they do get really tall. A couple years ago, I noticed that. So that guy back there will hopefully catch up, or it's going to get a little bit shaded. I've also got this guy, which I just moved into a little bit more sun. I don't think he was getting quite enough sun. He looks a little more stunted than the others. There's a bug on there. Oh, I know what kind of bug that. Oh, I don't know what kind of bug that is, actually. This guy already has peppers, too. This was planted 5 or 6 weeks ago. Petite Marsalis. It's just a French kind. I think I found that at my local nursery. And then there's one more over here that is doing super, super well. This is a sweet pickling pepper. It's supposed to turn lots of different colors. Peppers will start out one color, usually green. This is kind of unique that it's yellow. And then they'll turn different colors. This plant claims it'll turn orange, purple, and yellow, but we'll find out. But yeah, the biggest tip I have is to make sure to plant after it's 50 degrees at night, and we'll talk some more about what success is. I do see a bunch of ants on here. If you see ants on your plant, let me just zoom in there. If you see ants on your plant, you very likely have aphids. And actually, see those little bumps on there? Those are aphids. Yeah, see that little black thing? That's an aphid. Ants are trying to protect it, and I'm just squishing it. That's really just what you do. Sometimes they'll cluster around the fruit. Sometimes they'll cluster around blooms, but you just want to get rid of those. There's also these little eggs on here. I'm pretty sure those are a pest. Squish those as well. And when you start seeing a few aphids, there's probably more. So just flip over the leaves and look, and sometimes you'll see little clusters of them on the backs of the leaves. That bigger egg, my guess is that bigger egg is actually probably a beneficial. I'm going to go Google that. But, like, there we go. So that's a bunch of aphids on the back of that leaf. And I'm just going to go through with my finger and squish them. I know it's gross, but it's easier than a lot of other methods. So that's my guide to growing peppers, and I hope that was helpful. It's just basically one big tip. I do fertilize. I water often. I will shade cloth these when it gets really hot, especially when the sun gets really intense in the summer. That'll protect them from the Texas heat. They actually don't love the Texas heat, so getting them in as soon as possible, but definitely after that 50 degrees at night is really the key. Just showing you my shishitos again. I'm so proud and happy. Might plant more peppers just for fun.